Earth was lost, taken by creatures humanity called Naytiba, things that were once human, twisted beyond recognition. Survivors fled to orbital stations, to the last safe enclaves among the stars. But they didn't surrender. They built an army, warriors engineered for a single purpose: take the planet back. Eve was one of them. She dropped from orbit with her squad, 100 soldiers falling through fire. The landing went wrong. In seconds, they were gone, all of them. She was the only one left standing on scorched ground, with no signal, no orders, and nowhere to retreat. So she kept moving. The Naytiba found her in the storm, in the rain, at the edge of what she could take. She fought them anyway, not out of courage, out of refusal to stop. That's when a stranger found her. His name was Adam, a man from Earth, one of the few who never left. He patched her up in the ruins and told her something she hadn't expected: people were still alive here. There was a city hidden behind walls, holding on. It's called Xion, the last city of humanity. Xion was both a miracle and a wound. Thousands of survivors crammed behind crumbling walls, not fighting, just enduring. An elder named Orkul gave Eve a purpose: find the source. The Naytiba weren't random. Something was directing them. A structure in orbit called the Mother Sphere, that was the real enemy. A third person joined them: Lily, a mechanic with quick hands and a secret she kept close. The three of them moved into the wasteland together, Eve with her blade, Adam with his drone. Lily with a smile that never quite reached her eyes. The wasteland was a graveyard: ruined cities, gutted machines, bones of the ones who didn't make it. And somewhere above it all, a hologram of the Mother Sphere, hanging in the sky like it owned what was left of the world. The longer they traveled, the more questions piled up. The sphere wasn't just commanding the Naytiba, it was concealing something about the past, about humanity, about Eve herself. They kept pushing, through ancient altars, through a wrecked ship, through questions with no answers. And somewhere along the way, they reached the ocean. Eve stopped, looked at it for a long moment. "It's beautiful," she said, just that, for the first time. The colony shattered that quiet: red lasers, corridor fighting, a trap closing around them. Lily, who had always stayed back, pulled on an exosuit and stepped into the fight. She held her ground. They made it through. Then the Raven came. A figure with black wings descended without warning, and when it left, there was blood on a white floor. Orkul was dead. His last words were gratitude for a life that had meaning. Xion survived the attack, but the cost was real, and Eve wasn't going to let it go unanswered. She hunted the Raven down. They fought in the open wasteland, her blade against a blue sword. Her rage against his cold amusement. He laughed during the fight. He knew something she didn't, and in his final moments, he pointed her toward it. What she found in the dark nest broke something open. Adam stood there, but not the Adam she knew. A wing, a changed form. Eyes that held no guilt, only the weight of a long secret. "I know this is a disappointment. I'm sorry, Eve." He was the father of the Naytiba. He had created them not out of malice, but as a check. A way to keep humanity from destroying itself the way it had before. He believed the balance was necessary. And Eve stood across from him, blade in hand, with every reason to end it. She reached out her hand instead. What came next was beyond either of them, emerging, a flash. And Eve emerged in white and gold, standing in the light of something that felt like a beginning. She didn't fight for the sphere, not for the mission. For Lily, for Orkul, for the tired faces in Xion who were just trying to hold on. When it was over, capsules fell from the sky, new soldiers descending to Earth. But this time, they weren't falling into fire. They were falling into dawn.